Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. We am here with Navid. Navid is uh, he has similar name to mine, and yeah, here to know who he is and what has he has been through, and also a lot of other things that we're going to discuss about him, his life, and then hopefully it's an inspiration for other people and different situations. And we can, along the way, we will learn more about him, his story, and maybe other topics that we will discuss, and then two different people, and then look at the ideologies probably, and yeah, habits, lifestyle, and everything in between. Family, I don't know, whatever habits. Sometimes hobbies. It would be very nice to discuss things and get to know people. So this is my first ever podcast. Well, I try to not call it podcast, but this is me trying to understand more about Navijan. So the only format that I was thinking about is coming with this mic and this setup, and this happened so quickly that we had the idea of doing something together, I think, but we just didn't know when and how we're gonna do it. And then I will just this is it. This is just starting now. So I'm gonna pass the mic to Navijan, and he will start introducing himself. He will start talking about things, different topics, and about himself first. So Navijan, mic is yours, and please.
Is it double mic?
Yeah, double mic. So you can get this as well, and you can plug it in somewhere.
Clip it on, right?
Yeah, clip on.
Is it this part that you press? Okay. Let's make it official.
Yeah.
Do things the proper way, which thankfully Navid is leading by example for. Anyways, salam alaikum people. I'm the second Navid, or the first Navid. I think you might be older than me, so
Yeah.
I'm
possible.
born in 96.
You're born in 96 to 95.
So I am the second Navid here. And it's very nice to meet you. I'm honored to have Navid John here in my space.
Thank you. It is actually your space.
It is our space, who is actually bringing with him a really strong and wonderful energy to, I guess, help me through my own process of life in this phase, and to bring out some thoughts in my mind, some wisdom that may be within, and to share it through this format, through conversation, through an informal type of podcast. This may even just be practice, we're not sure. We're just flowing and playing with it and seeing what we can create here. But definitely with the aim to have created something tangible, something solid that we can look back on and to share and broadcast. So yeah, without further ado, let us begin.
So you had a rough, I guess, if you just go through in a very broad way, in an overview of what your life went through, the stages that you have been through, and where you are at now, and that would be a good start to get to know who Navid is, where he had been, and then and where he is now at.
Yeah, cool. All right, so there's a lot to cover here, and I guess I can break my entire life down very quickly for you, just so that you get a quick picture of who I am, what I've been through, and what I've accomplished. So, you know my name. I'm 29 years old currently. I was born in Afghanistan and came to the UK as a little baby. I was about 2 years old when my family came here. And they came here for safety because of war in Afghanistan at the time. And the politics here is actually a heavy, big topic that I won't get into. Not right now anyways. But for those reasons, here I am in UK, present day 2026, because of things that happened in the past. And anyways, I grew up my entire life very mature in this country. I studied very well. My academic background is flawless, very good. I studied at the University of Warwick and graduated with an engineering degree, specializing in civil engineering. Beyond that, I was always excellent in everything that I did in sports as well. I was playing high-level football. You can see my trophies, some of them up on the cabinets. And I was playing for Coventry City Academy. And I thought that I was going to make it as a professional footballer. And that didn't happen, so I just pursued my academics. And then that basically led me to becoming a bit lost when I was at university, because I went to university thinking that this is really where I'm going to find my sense of identity and belonging, and you know, who I am as an adult and what I'm supposed to do with the rest of my life, because this was a topic that was not so strong in my life, being from an Afghan family that barely spoke English when we first arrived, you know, struggling with money and stuff like this. And yeah, I guess I know what a struggle is. And so that all led me to becoming, I guess, a deep thinker in my adult years, you know, questioning what even is the meaning of life? What am I here for? What am I supposed to do? Those deeper questions, I was really trying to figure out who I really am. And I couldn't find it in religion at the time. So that led me to becoming quite spiritual, and experiences with plant medicines. Even things like marijuana began to open my mind, you know, and I found myself outside of the status quo. I was very different, you know, and many people would not understand my way of thinking because I was just different. I was very unique, and that led me to traveling a lot as well. So there's already a lot here, but basically the thing that I really wanted to kind of focus in on specifically is my life for the past 5 years. And this has all been dealing with the consequences of a heavy injury. I fell off a coconut tree at age 24 in Australia. It was a 14-meter coconut tree, and I landed vertically on my back. And that put me in a 2-month coma with heavy surgeries and massive physical trauma that I could not deal with, or I just didn't know how to respond very well, you know. And past 5 years have been a heavy struggle, heavy amounts of pain, broken bones, you name it, you know, sleepless nights, not being able to walk, needing to use a wheelchair, and so many complications around this as well. So it's been a massive physical challenge.
So when I say Afghanistan, what comes to your mind?
Firstly, I'll say black, red, green. You know, those are the colors of the national flag.
Cool.
And yeah, you brought a flag with you, which
it's interesting.
We need to discuss and talk about.
No problem. You know, maybe if I so it's a bit heavy. Just want it to be more lighthearted at the start, but
yeah.
I know it's a very. So what were you doing at a coconut tree anyway?
Do you like coconuts?
I mean, I love coconuts, but I want to go to a coconut tree. So that is the interesting point. What were you doing top of a 14-meter coconut tree? That's the interesting point.
Yeah, I guess you said you love coconuts, and there's some energy there, right?
Yes.
So how do you think people are getting coconuts? How would you be drinking those coconuts that you're drinking?
Wow, okay.
Obviously somebody needs to go out and get them, right? Yes. And I was that guy. So or one of those guys anyway.
Wow, that's actually amazing. So you actually worked on a coconut farm?
I was doing my own work because I was quite strong in my body. At the time I was renting a camper van, and Australia is beautiful, you know. The lifestyle is so different. Where I was in the north of Australia, in Queensland. I was living in a town called Cairns, and it's crazy because I've spent most of my life here in Coventry, and that 1 year that I spent in Cairns actually feels more of a home to me than Coventry has ever felt. I know the map on the back of my mind, you know, and I still actually don't even know how to get around properly in Coventry. Sometimes when I'm in the city center, I have to ask for like, where even am I? Or check on Google, you know. But in Cairns, actually, it feels massively like home. And it's the kind of place where year-round it's warm. You can spend time on the beach easily. And that's what I was doing. I was living in a van, which had a bed inside. And I would wake up on the side of the beach, wake up, just jump in the ocean. And at the time, I had long hair. And just living the dream. It was nice. Eating big amounts of fruits. And I would collect the coconuts. I would just climb up for myself. I had a small little bag, and inside it, I had a little saw, something to chop down the branches with. So I'd climb up at the top, I would saw down the branches, and I'd have like 100 coconuts from that one tree. And then I'd put them in the van, and then I'd chop them with my sword, and just drink as many coconuts as I wanted by the beach. And then with the surplus, I would sell them as a little side hustle. And that was one type of work that I was doing.
So, what made a Warwick student of engineering to leave his university, to leave his parents, to leave his city, and move on to a completely different country and find his sense of belonging or sense of identity, which I actually question,
Yeah, it
which we're
was.
not getting from university, and maybe one mic I grab and then
Yeah.
I can sort of put
Pass this one back to
No,
you.
no, I'll give this to you if I think it looks cool and the vibe, and I'll take this. So, so the fact that you actually um, moved from Coventry, so somebody who's clever, top university, really good degree, and then chooses to go to a completely different country. I guess you were not finding that sense of identity. I believe you mentioned within Coventry, within the society, that you moved to somewhere like Australia. And how was this? What made you to choose Australia to Coventry?
Yeah, definitely a sense of lifestyle just was not working for me here in England. I'm someone, I love the sun and I love to be outside. And let's be honest, it's just not warm enough here in England to be outside most of the time. So it's a life that's built indoors. And my connection to nature was very strong at the time, so I needed to be outside. And I needed to find work that could complement that kind of lifestyle. And farm work was the solution. So I realized that in Australia there's plenty of jobs available, picking fruit, collecting fruit in places that are quite nice. So yeah, it was just the obvious thing to do for me at the time.
Nice. So you decided to go and uh, just to do some farming. So your lifestyle was not with nature here, and then you just wanted to be more connected with nature. So you chose Australia, which is, of course, a very natural country with a lot of nature around. I understand that. I get it. There's not a lot of sun here, and it gets quite, it's always cloudy and very much dark. And yeah, okay, fair enough. And did you like it? Did you enjoy it? It seems like you did.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I had some very, very good experiences that were valuable to, I guess, my journey as a man. You cannot live your whole life the same way. It's not good to stay in a comfort zone for too long. And traveling is essential to developing yourself, to knowing the world, and to meeting people as well.
Nice. Um, did you not like your degree or university? And what was more something that triggered you, or what was the point, or where was the time where you decided, wait, this is not for me? What was it, or when was it?
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't happy with my degree. I ended up studying engineering because I initially applied for medicine and didn't get in. And my fifth option, as you might remember from A levels, when you're applying to university for medicine, it's like you have five choices of
Hmm.
universities. And with medicine, it's slightly different. You can only choose four, and your fifth option must be a backup in case you don't get in. Because to study medicine in the UK is very highly competitive. I think at the time it was 10 to 1. So it's only 10% of applicants get into studying a medical degree. So you need to be prepared to study something else in case you don't get in. And that's what happened with me. And I ended up at Warwick doing an engineering degree to keep my options open. And after the first year, I realized that, wow, my heart is not in this. And I fell into a massive depression. And that is what triggered me to questioning things deeply, to searching for something that I'm personally passionate about. Because to go into a lifestyle or a lifetime of work, it's important to love what you're doing. Otherwise, if your heart is not in it, you're just going to be floating and not doing the work properly. So,
So your university choices, what were did you choose them, or were these like something that you know were passionate about, or were you even forced by family, or were these your choices? I mean, from the choice that from the way that you mentioned, you must have liked medicine a lot more than engineering degree, I guess, which you didn't end up getting.
the truth is that my whole life I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Aside from playing football, I didn't really have that one thing that I was very kind of fully passionate about. And this is also connected to family upbringing and the whole fact that, we're not originally from this country. And so I didn't have a strong sense of guidance from a young age, and I had to kind of figure things out for myself. And it can be a lot to decide what it is you want to do for the rest of your life at 18 years old. And there needs to be a sense of development as a man to actually know that this is who I am, this is what I want to do. And until you've had that, it's hard to decide. And so when football didn't work out for me, my studies, my A levels were maths, chemistry, biology, and Spanish. I did enjoy the languages, but there was not enough in that to fulfill a career. And basically, my A levels were pushing towards a medical degree. And so naturally, I kind of decided that, okay, it should be medicine that I study with these choices. But that was a whole, like, those few years during A levels, there was a lot of pressure, and it was a challenging time because everyone was kind of telling me, you need to go to university, you need to do that. But honestly, in hindsight, I wish I'd just taken a year out, maybe a gap year at that point, instead of rushing the whole university process, because then maybe I would have come to some better decisions. But hey, that was just my path, and my depression at university led me to then taking off a year, an essential gap year, a temporary withdrawal to basically figure out my action plan.
Nice. I think I know someone else who probably has gone through university and had some sort of pressure or depression that comes after it, and then they sort of took that gap year, and then they went back into it, and then they were okay. They just tried to finish the university, and they come out of it not as satisfied for some reason. But as you mentioned, there could be probably upbringing or a sense of, as you said, that you're not from this country. Maybe there's sense of belonging felt like, I don't know, had something to do with this as well. I
Yeah.
believe.
I think I've just been on a lifelong journey, or a longer journey than most, of actually learning what it takes to become a man. And I guess I've needed to stay in kind of
So
that
what is
sense
it?
of play, that sense of childishness, to
Right.
kind of just figure out who I really am before committing to anything serious.
Right. This is very interesting because I went to I came here when I was 16, 14, 14, 16. And then I went to halfway year 10, and then I went to college for a year. I don't know what I was doing, but I was good at IT or um, sort of just computer science in general. So anything IT, I would have like done really good, really well. But I wasn't sure what do I want to do. But later on, I was like figuring out maybe architecture is something for me.
Architecture,
Yeah,
nice.
architecture was something like I was passionate. More so, I was like I
This
was.
is a side topic that we can explore as well.
Yeah,
You know, things like how structures should be built. You know, Islamic architecture is very beautiful.
it's amazing. Well, when we say Islamic architecture, it's not actually Islamic in itself. Like it's maybe yes, we it's sort of we made mosques
What I've
like
noticed
that.
as well, Islamic architecture or those kind of buildings,
Yes.
they're very inspired by nature. So even this
Yeah.
rug that we've kind of used on the sofa, right?
Yes.
It's a circular design, and then you notice there might be flowers inside it and stuff like
Yeah.
Persian rugs, right?
Yes. Yes.
You notice that a lot of this is inspired by nature.
By nature.
And
Yeah.
so these octagonal structures in mosques, they make
Yeah.
you feel kind of like your heart is open in these spaces
Mm.
because of that sense of symmetry.
Yeah.
And this structure that we're in right now, I've actually struggled inside this building massively. You know, it's a modernized building
Yeah.
built in England by English guys, designed by English designers who do not have a sense of connection or grounding in Islam. And so the actual positioning of the rooms and stuff like this has
Interesting.
affected my day-to-day life in a way that's not been good, to be honest.
So do you think these could be more functional,
Yeah,
but not connected to connect with the human
definitely.
person, I
And
guess. I don't know.
Chinese philosophy is also an interesting topic as well.
Hmm.
The word you, as you were saying, the word functional. I thought you were saying. Have you heard of this phrase? It's called feng shui.
No, what's that?
So from Chinese philosophy, it's kind of, you know how you were just before we were setting up, you were
Yep.
positioning the table here, putting a rug out,
Yeah.
making sure that everything kind of looks nice, but
Well, we
beyond looking
tried.
nice,
We tried.
but beyond looking nice, actually feeling
Yeah.
nice.
Okay.
And this is the whole idea around feng shui and Chinese philosophy. It's kind of
Right.
designing things and putting things so that it makes your heart feel at ease. And I think architecture can be used to kind of create this kind of feeling within as well.
Yeah, I agree. It's the sensation that you get out inside a building, inside a structure is really important. That connects with you, connects with the human, but rather than just like some, four corners that
Yeah,
doesn't really
boxes, you
connect. It's
know.
just boxes. I agree. Most 90% of people in the UK, especially living in boxes, not in a
Yeah,
really atmosphere where it's actually
natural design is important,
home. Yeah.
and materials are also important, right?
Material. Okay.
So, are we using metal? Also, the colors are important as well.
Mm.
Or are we using more natural fibers like bamboo and wood? You know, and there should be an element of consideration
I actually
into
didn't know
these
you're
things.
a lot into architecture and design and colors and structures and Islamic. This is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely a side topic that we can actually explore more. But if I go back to your um, football time, so did you say you were playing for Coventry's FC?
Yeah, man.
That is amazing. Like I didn't know this. You have done a quite a amazing job of going from place to place. So tell me more about your experience and how did you go about football? How did it go? Like how did you join?
Yeah, so
And then could we find you in some of those videos of Coventry FC?
I used to have a bunch of discs, and there's probably some old photos and stuff like this
Okay.
that I could find. But yeah,
This is the actual Coventry FC club or
yeah, the
like
academy.
different? Okay, academy. Nice.
That was at age 14, which is
Nice.
when I had really built up a reputation for myself. So the name Navid or Naz or Nawid was very well known here in Coventry amongst people of my age, you know. They would just say the name, and I had, I was almost famous in this town,
Nice.
But basically, the reason why I was so good at football was probably because before I even began playing football, I was always very healthy in general. Afghan food, Afghan families is
Yes. Qabli pala.
is quite strong. Like
Yeah.
a lot of English kids, they are eating unhealthy foods. They don't have mothers that are cooking for them. They don't have mothers that are creating a clean home environment for their children. And so I'm grateful that I had that experience, and I had a dad that was working as well. So there was love in the family. And the foods from a cultural background, we eat a lot of rice. We make sure that there's fruit on the table every day. And, there's things like tea and, dried fruits and just natural foods that are going to encourage good health. And then with that good health, I had energy to then be active. So growing up, I was always active and had a very high metabolism. I was always running. And before I was even playing football, I was actually doing taekwondo. And I had an
Wow.
Afghan instructor, and he was
What was his name?
his name is Anwar.
Anwar. Yes, yes, Anwar
You
Siddiqui.
know this guy?
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah.
been he taught my little brothers, and they were really good at taekwondo as well. But that's
He's
amazing,
a great
amazing.
instructor, and I can vouch for this
Yeah.
guy. He's also a
Okay.
good man. And
Nice.
if there's anyone who was in my life at an early age that helped to give me a good sense of kind of direction, it would be him actually, because he is also still a practicing Muslim, and he would often talk about religion and things like this in the classes, in the downtime when we'd be stretching, and just give kind of stories and a sense of guidance, that you can get from teachers as well.
Yeah.
But he was good, and he brought kind of that culture through the martial arts, and that was great.
Well, yeah, I actually agree. He used to, talk to the kids. Mostly people, a lot of coaches may just train you and nothing else. That's it. But he would talk to you. He would try to understand you. He would try to guide you, which is
Life
nice.
advice, yeah.
Yeah, life advice as well. At the same time as teaching you some techniques. He would teach you like what it means to be like a good fighter and what to do, which was really nice. Wow, this is amazing. So you went. So you're at 14. You're very famous. You're like, you're good at
Not very,
football.
but just in this small
Yeah,
town, yeah.
you made a name for yourself within the circle that you were in. So that's really amazing. Um, and then at what point did you feel like, okay, football may not be the place for me? Maybe I need to do something else.
Yeah, it was at that point, at age 14, I was doing a lot. There was another team I was still playing with. That was the step down of the academy. It's called Coventry Schools. It was still quite good, we would have to dress up smart, and basically for away games we'd go on a coach and then get changed in the changing rooms and do the whole thing. So I was still playing with that team as well as playing with the academy at age 14. And with the academy, it's three days a week of training. And on the Friday, they would ask you to take half a day off school to also train. And then I was playing also 2 games on the weekend, another game with the other team. So I'd be playing 4 games on Saturday and Sunday. And to be honest, I wasn't really fitting into the academy. Like, my style of football was very different to the English way of play. I guess I could more connect with the Spanish style of football or the Brazilian style, because my personality was just a bit introverted, and I guess I wasn't fitting into the team. So to be honest, even though I did well during that time at the academy, I joined I joined them halfway through the season. They played me out of position. I was a striker. They put me as a wing. They put me on the wing, and I still was the third top scorer at the end of the year. And the manager at the end of the
Nice.
year decided that they didn't want to give me another contract to basically keep playing. So that kind of broke my dreams playing football a little bit, and I took a step back from football and focused more on my studies. And actually, I just began to lift weights, and bodybuilding became my thing. And because I was slightly more introverted, I kind of was finding a sense of peace through just going to the gym. It would calm my anxieties. It gave me something physical, a physical outlet, and I guess that became my next transition.
Amazing. So that's actually really. I mean, it would have been good if you just continued with football because
Yeah.
from what it looked like, you would have been a very good football player. Like we have Nadim Amiri in German football, the German player
I don't know
who
him,
played in
but I have a
international.
friend called Maziar,
Mazio.
Mazkuyar.
Right.
He's actually from Coventry as well. We went to the same school.
Oh no, this guy is actually played at World Cup,
Yeah,
and he assisted a goal for Germany.
nice. I'm
So
sure
he was.
Maziar will know him because he also plays for the national team.
Yeah. Okay. That nice, nice. There's a lot of other kids from our background, like from
Yeah,
Afghanistan, that plays in Coventry FC.
it's good,
Good to
and
know.
yeah, it's good to see Afghans in big time football because some of us are actually very good, but are just not in the right place to be recognized. And there is some politics around this as well, you know, and sense of your parents need to be very kind of involved and need to have good relationships with the managers or the coaches
Mm,
or your friends' parents. And unfortunately, a lot of
mm.
Afghans don't have this. And so,
Yeah,
yes,
they
they may be
do.
very good playing individually on the pitch,
But
but
you need
without that
more.
support behind them, you know, it's difficult for them to really reach a higher level.
Interesting. Okay, Navijan, it's interesting. So, at what point? So you went to university. At what point were did you feel the sense of, that this? Let's say, I believe we came from a religious background. At what point was it, felt very difficult to follow or practice the religion?
Um, Actually, maybe slightly different to you. My background is not actually that religious.
Oh,
So, yes, Afghanistan is an Islamic country. And yes,
interesting.
I guess I would have called myself a
But
Muslim growing up, but it was never strict. I never went to mosque. My dad was
so it wasn't
always
practicing.
quite open minded. My dad,
Exposing him here, or is that?
maybe we can snip that out.
Yeah. Okay.
But my dad growing up was never a religious man, so I'd never had,
You mean he didn't practice much?
yeah, and I didn't have a strong sense of necessity to practice either. And
Okay.
so I guess I was exploring other ideas outside of religion as a young adult. And what resonated for me at the time was things like Buddhism and philosophy in general, you know, just questioning everything. And yeah, religion was not a pillar for me growing up, to be honest. And I ended up kind of thinking that I was beyond it, to be honest.
So growing up, what was sort of the ideologies like that you were sort of what was the basis of your beliefs? So what was the belief system that was circulating within? I mean, as a person who's from Afghanistan, I could understanding that our society is like maybe 99%, 99.9% Muslim.
Yeah.
So what was the sort of beliefs that you were growing up with?
For me, it was quite unique because I was so successful in everything that I was doing. I just realized that mankind, or as a man, you basically can create your own beliefs. So even religion is something that was created by man. And when you get to a point that you are strong enough in yourself as a man, you realize that you have an element of control over your life and you can create your own systems. So I had my own way of thinking, my own systems, and just lifting weights was bringing me peace at the time, you know, and I wasn't really overthinking things, and I didn't even have a need for religion at the time just because I didn't really have any big struggles, you know. I had food on the table, I had something to do, I had school to go to, I had studies to do,
Mm,
and I had the gym to go to, so there was not too much actually troubling me at that point.
mm. So has any of that ideology or beliefs have changed
It's
now?
changed massively. It's changed so much. So when university did not work for me, I needed something else. I needed something that was working, and to be honest, I couldn't find that through religion at the time. And what was really resonating was nature. Just to things like climbing mountains, which I've seen you doing as well. There's a certain sense of peace in doing that. There's a certain sense of connection to God, even if you're not religious, just by climbing a mountain or spending time in a waterfall, right? It puts you in touch with what God created. And so it's kind of maybe a shortcut to God by actually being in nature.
Interesting.
And you can have revelations, just there's been moments where I've collected apples from a tree, and you just put two and two together and you realize, wow, of course God exists. I've always had a belief in God, even though it was not a belief in religion. It was, how can you deny the beauty of existence? How can you deny the beauty of a flower when you see like a wonderful rose or something like this, or even when you spend time with animals, like horses, you feel something inside, and that is your spirit. And so I was actually always in touch with my spirit as an adult, but maybe not so much with religion. And things changed recently dealing with this injury where I lost that strong sense of connection to nature, and I became kind of trapped inside this box, inside this apartment, without the proper help and support that I was actually needing, without a sense of understanding of who I am, and support towards my dreams. And just dealing with people who, in a way, are average, right? And I've always considered myself as above average. And maybe this whole experience has been needed to humble me, to really shake me to my core, and to force me to deal with the average person, or to be able to connect with the average person. And I realized that maybe even I am not who I think I am. I'm not great as I maybe have this whole ego in my mind, right? And lately prayer has just been bringing me down to ground level, and it's been helping me through, because it's been teaching me to be more honest with myself, and work on my weaknesses and areas that I may be struggling with, to just be true and authentic with myself and God. Welcome to the dungeon.
This is your little extra storage space.
There's a massive table blocking the room, but yeah, here I've got some gym equipment I'm trying to sell. I've got an old electric wheelchair which is broken, and I couldn't find the piece to get it working.
No.
It's the controller that's broken.
Okay.
I couldn't find the replacement part. But otherwise, that chair is actually more solid than this one. I don't like using this chair, to be honest. But this is good because it's small and it can go into the passenger seat, which means I can drive the car myself.
Oh, nice.
So I'm trying to get a car again, actually. I went to Stoke last week, took a train there.
Okay.
And that was a great experience, man. Because, I've been praying a lot and just spending time on the ground. And now I'm able to get onto the floor and get back up from my wheelchair. So on the train, there was no seats available. And I just got down from my chair onto the floor. And I was on the ground for most of the journey. It was like an hour. And I used to do this a lot, on big journeys. I just sit down on the ground. And it's better to be on the floor than it is to be sitting on a chair, you can actually take time to stretch and recover a little bit, So that was nice. And then I went to the Suzuki car dealership.
Oh, nice.
I checked out 2 electric cars.
Cool.
The Suzuki e-Vitara.
Right.
That was cool. Oh, good catch. You got some taekwondo in you, man. That was your instinct that just struck, bro. That was cool. And there's another Chinese car company. It's called Chang'an,
Okay.
and they're doing some
Cool.
really nice cars. I may potentially be getting one of these.
One of the Chinese mates.
Electric.
Yeah, I think Chinese mates are really good.
And the interior was like really nice leather. Because
Mm.
they're working with some Italian company.
Cool.
It's cool. We've got some electric chargers out here as well.
Yeah, I've seen there's a lot of electric charging.
Electricity is the future, man.
Yeah. So this is where you keep your belongings,
Some of them, yeah.
some storage space.
But you know, it would be cool to change this into like a gaming
Yeah.
space. Or
Yeah,
like a
you
chill
can change
space.
it into a very nice space, definitely. Do you have a vision for it?
I do.
Okay.
But I just need the support of the management here and stuff like that because
Okay.
it's not my own space. It's like a shared space.
Okay. So do they not allow a lot of stuff for?
Yeah, they've not been great with me, to be honest. I've been suffering a lot and I need help and support. And like, for example, look at this trash outside. You know, the wind actually blew one of my bags.
Alright.
And I'm having to take trash out myself, like, given the circumstances and the difficulty. It's a flipping care home, and they're not actually doing this for me. And it's crazy, you know.
Sorry to hear that.
Me too, bro, and this is the way it is.
Okay, back into the cave.
Yeah. Oh, it feels peaceful in here, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
The smell is nice as well.
It's amazing to be a little bit outside. The sun is out, and be enjoying the sun a little.
Basically, yeah.
Basically, but it's just a little bit harsher to the face, I guess, and it's a little, I want the clouds to go cover the sun for a bit, so I can film properly.
Yeah, it's
But
like,
hopefully,
you know, in this kind of land, right?
Mhm.
I would love to basically own a plot of land this size
Yeah.
in Brazil. And then, if it was my own space, I would do a lot with it.
Mm.
And first, I'd make sure that the ground is like very. I mean, the soil will be good because it's Brazil. And the soil will be fertile. Just the climate there, it rains often, it's sunny often. So it creates the perfect environment to actually plant things. And then I would be planting loads of fruits and just developing a space like this into something beautiful over time. It's just different to picture that in a place like this where you don't have the right conditions, you know, and I'd say it's quite dry here. Like, let's say if you own this land, right, what would you do with it?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe put some vegetables, I would assume.
Fair enough. Tell me about this flag, man.
Flag. Oh, nice. So this flag is the former Mujahideen flag of Afghanistan. So currently they are fighting against the Taliban, and previously they were fighting against the Taliban as well. How much do you know about history of Afghanistan?
I know that it used to be a Buddhist country, right?
Oh, that is
That's
a
way
long,
back.
long time, way back. Okay,
But beyond that, probably not too much, man.
is that it? Cool. No, this is cool. This is really cool.
Obviously, I know about Taliban invasion. But seriously, my knowledge on Afghan history is not that. I'm not that educated, to be honest.
In terms of Afghanistan's history and politics and people and religions and
I mean,
background.
I know about the types of people. I know that, okay, western side is more Tajik, more closer to Iran. I'm born in Herat, so it's on the border of Iran. And then eastern side, you get more like the people are more Pashtun and connected to Pakistan. So the main three tribes are the Tajiks, the Pashtuns, and then the Hazaras, which are like Chinese, bro. So I know this.
Cool, cool. So you yourself is from Herat.
Yeah,
Cool. Which part of Herat?
in the town, bro.
Town.
my
Town.
mom, my mom's
I met.
family live near the town. Yeah,
Apparently, it's a big thing.
it's not a massive city. I think.
No, is it? Is it not?
I don't think it is.
What's the population of Herat? Do you know?
No idea.
I think it's in millions. But it has quite a
Wow.
big population in terms of the cities in Afghanistan.
I think you should educate us
I should educate.
on the history of Afghanistan, please.
Shh, okay. I mean, first of all, I just wanted to get to know a little about you, so it'd be interesting. Then maybe you can explore a little bit
Let's
more
make this one about you.
about me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear about your story.
Well, I said maybe quite a little bit that I came when I was very young as well.
I think you should be facing the camera.
I don't like I wouldn't share my story out online, maybe just for now. But
Practice.
for practice, yeah. It's because unfortunately I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Is
I feel like in terms of filming,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of spent. Like we did most of the bulk inside. That's where the lighting was best.
Yeah.
Now I feel like it's more time to just
chilling, same.
just discuss between us,
Yeah.
maybe without you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like this, right? The natural thing to do when you see fruits like this is to eat them, right? And get close and climb the tree and da 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 da.
Mhm.
And in a similar way, I was climbing up the coconut tree.
Interesting.
To get to the fruit, it's high.
Mm.
This one is low risk. It's not very high.
No.
But sometimes the bigger the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
Mm.
And coconuts are a great reward, man.
Yeah. This is amazing. This is like very. Is it sweet?
They're good.
Mm.
Look at the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Mm. Mm. It's actually very nice.
You know, it's my personal philosophy that
Mm-hmm.
we're just designed to live like this and eat this
Mm.
way, you know. We're supposed to be in garden spaces. We're supposed to be eating lots of fruit,
Mm.
big amounts, as much as you want. And we're supposed to be planting the seeds.
Mm.
But humanity is very out of touch.
I think modern life has become like separated us from nature a lot. I agree.
There's actually a lot in the bush today. I didn't notice. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you for bringing me here.
Thank you to the bush for sustaining life.
Ah, definitely. Some of them are really sour. You good?
So,
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted something very to be able to carry it.
Oh, there's the controller.
Okay.
It was here.
Where was it? Oh yeah, right there. I did see it somewhere.
We got some fruits if you want some.
Yeah.
Some oranges.
Thank you. Maybe yeah, I'll grab some orange. That should be perfect.
Catch.
I'll try to catch.
Hands are full.
I'll try to catch. Oh, maybe not. So yeah, how about the flag? You will cover it and it's
Flag, right?
yeah.
Okay.
You may have seen a lot of my stories on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably have some idea of what I'm sort of ideologies and I may have. But yeah, I'm very fond of this flag and what it stood for and what it stands for, to be honest.
I don't oppose it.
No, okay, that's good.